Okay, what are you bringing home this time and how much did it cost?
But it was on sale, honey.
How much?
Net or gross?
I guess both.
Give us a minute here to discuss this with our financial advisor and our marriage counselor. Hey, it's Jason here from Ridgeline Outdoor Adventure. I got a new rooftop tent, so let's talk about it. Yeah, I got a new tent. This video starts with an unboxing and first impressions, and then a trip to my favorite lake to break in this new castle. While I'm unloading and unboxing it, let's talk about how I'm already on tent number 3 in my modest 4-year overlanding career. To be clear, I've got no sponsorships, so these are bought and paid for by yours truly. So a year ago, I traded my doghouse soft shell rooftop tent for a Vic Kell hard shell wedge tent. A Facebook marketplace swap with someone looking for a bigger tent and me looking for something smaller. The doghouse was nice and roomy, but way too bulky for taking on and off a few times a year, and too big to leave on my truck for the full season. Setup and tear down was 5 to 7 minutes, which in lousy weather is an eternity. And then you get to do it all over again to dry out a wet tent at home. First world problems, I know. Add to this an emptying nest, the sale of my utility trailer, and the purchase of a gazelle tent. Yeah, we just didn't need or want that big-ass doghouse tent. The wedge tent is nice and compact, and at 135 pounds, I even got it off my truck alone a couple of times. I used it a few times last fall and even made a review video, but I felt like the jury wasn't in yet, so I just didn't release the video. I used it a few times this spring and summer, and it was mostly fine, but I'm hoping for a bit better than mostly fine. To say the interior is cramped was a massive understatement. My biggest complaint, though, was the massive amount of condensation on the floor when the tent was closed. Didn't matter what time of year. Airing it out was a weekly chore, and that was getting old. There's gotta be a better option. Maybe even an end-of-season deal to be had. Cap it to the rescue with 20% off the Wildland Bush Cruiser V2. Packaging and hardware, definitely 5 stars. This is built very well. I'm not easily impressed as a guy with OCD. Here's the bracing hardware from a typical rooftop tent. And here's what we're getting from Wildland. They did not cheap out on the hardware. You know, the unboxing experience is important, right? Like, that's kind of your first impression of what you've bought. And I've spent $3,000 on this thing, so like, well, she's coming along. As this tent erects, you'll notice it's not your average wedge tent. Look at the scissor lift at the footbox. You've got 12 inches of space back there instead of 1 inch. This tent is already 6 inches longer and 6 inches wider than my old tent, but this design makes it feel even more spacious. Look at the front door as well. It angles away from the tent body instead of going straight up and down. Again, not more floor space, but more spacious. Just like that, you're sitting up in bed. Well, so yeah, we got ourselves lots of room. We got an LED strip light up there, back corner, just plug it into a power bank. If I ever get myself a proper heater, in and out she goes through here. There's a tensioning bar up in here to stiffen up the porch. So you would simply unscrew this. It doesn't have a solid floor. It's actually slatted, and then a vinyl wrapped foam membrane between the slats and the actual mattress. I suspected it is going to virtually eliminate condensation. Yeah, heavy, very well built. Looking forward to getting this thing out on the trails this weekend or next, and then we'll do a little more filming on it. Back to that bickering session with my wife in the video intro. Net or gross, LOL. The tent was $2,800 plus 12% tax. But because I have a monetized YouTube channel, I'll write off this tent and get back all of the GST. For a net cost of just over $1,000, this tent upgrade was a no-brainer, and my wife was quick to agree. A few points of difference here from a standard wedge tent. The door has a frame with easy-to-use built-in poles. No more inserting janky hooks into a rainfly. The struts are on the inside of the track for a cleaner look and protection from the elements. The shoe bags flip up into the tent for storage, but in case you do want to remove them, it's just 2 buckles and they're out. You can also see there's an external frame instead of a solid base floor, and it makes for a nice grab handle. It also means the tent isn't sewn into the base, and it's tucked in a couple inches, making it much easier to fold it up when closing the tent. Some really nice engineering here. Not bad at all. That one's my Climate inflatable. Nobody in their right mind would sleep on the provided mattress in a rooftop tent. This is tent number 3 for me. Yeah, you don't expect them to have a good mattress. They're thin so that they can fit in the tent. Well, just chilling on the beach. But as I sit here just staring at and enjoying this new Wildland Bushcrafter version 2 tent, there are a few things that are just coming to mind. I really like the side latches. It helps keep it closed a lot better than just having latches on the end like a typical wedge tent. I like the rubber bumpers on the corners next to the red reflector strips. Those come off and give access to the tracks. The scissor lift, obviously that is fantastic because that's what gives you the big box, toe box in the front. The color scheme I absolutely love. Fantastic. You can see the Velcro tabs on the outside of the zipper. When you don't have your outer fly closed, like zipped, you can actually just have it Velcroed on. So many nice little touches throughout this tent. The zipper pulls are huge. The zippers pull with relative ease. They're not the easiest zippers I've ever had, but they're by no means difficult. But yeah, having camped with it all of one night since buying it a couple weeks ago, I really like it. If you're thinking about getting a new rooftop tent, this might be the tent for you. If you're looking for some really next level stuff, check out their website. They've got some crazy designs out there now, like just crazy. But you are paying like, $5,000 and $6,000 and $8,000 US. A week later, I worked my way up to Pemberton on sales calls, and then came home through the backcountry down the west side of this very lake. Another night camping in the Wildland Bush Cruiser version 2. All in all, this is a great tent. It's a bit heavy, but all the good ones are. The fact is you need something well built if it's going to withstand living on the roof of a 4-wheel drive vehicle going down bumpy forest roads. Time will tell if this tent is prone to condensation during storage. I suspect it won't be due to the slatted and floating floor system. So hey, if you've got any questions, shoot me a line in the comments. And if you want to come see it up close and personal, I live in Abbotsford, so come on over and check it out. I don't bite. That's it for now. So until next time, and there will be a next time, go play outside.